Every day, he used to play songs for a quiet young girl. Little did he know his guitar, his true companion, would unlock something truly amazing. On a hot day in busy Los Angeles, the sun shone everywhere in the city. Santiago, a 25-year-old Latino musician, woke up in a makeshift room in an old building where homeless people stayed. His stomach growled, showing he was hungry and he missed having a good meal. Rubbing his eyes, his messy hair falling on his face, and a scruffy beard made him look untidy. Yet there was something charming in his tired look. His brown eyes showed strong feelings, carrying a burden that felt too heavy for one person. Despite it all, he got up with determination, knowing he had things to do. Grabbing his old guitar from the wall, Santiago ran his fingers over the strings to make sure they sounded good. Happy with it, he said goodbye to his homeless friends and left the old building with the guitar. In the park, he went to his usual spot under a big tree and started playing. The music echoed through the park, mixing with the city sounds. Time passed, but the money in his guitar case was disappointingly little. Luck wasn't on his side that day. Still, he kept playing, hoping someone would stop to listen. Around lunchtime, Santiago counted the coins, just enough for a burger and a soda. Even though it was not much, he felt thankful. Little did he know his life was about to change in ways he never expected. Before he became homeless, Santiago was a talented musician. His family moved from Mexico to California when he was a child, hoping for a better life. Watching artists, he fell in love with the guitar. With much effort, his father bought him an old guitar, making the young boy's dream come true. Growing up, he played in local bands, gaining recognition for his amazing guitar skills and soulful voice. However, a series of bad events, like losing his parents in an attack and facing money problems, made him lose everything. Despite the difficulties, Santiago never gave up on music. The only thing left from his old life was his father's guitar, now his only friend and source of money. Santiago played his guitar in parks and on sidewalks, sharing his music with anyone who listened. He was kind and humble, thanking those who stopped and dropped a coin in his donation box. His dream was to have a home again and return to the big stage. Until then, he continued playing in the streets, bringing comfort and hope to those in need. As Santiago played, a crowd gathered curious about the music. Breaking into a sad song, his emotional voice filled the air. Excited cheers from the audience showed their amazement. Those who stopped had their serious faces soften, and some even shed tears. In Santiago's voice, they sensed sadness and pain, but also a touch of hope and beauty that mixed with the melody of his guitar. People gathered around in the park, enjoying the music and contributing coins. They believed his music was special, going beyond notes and chords. They smiled, clapped, and left extra coins to support him. "This guy is really talented," they said. At the end of the day, when the crowd dispersed, Santiago looked at the donation box and saw a lot of coins. Thankful for the support, he smiled. Every day, the young man woke up, tuned his guitar, played, and checked how much he earned. There were good and bad days, but he held on to hope. One day, in the park, with his guitar on his lap, playing a few notes to find the right melody, a little girl with brown hair and big eyes stood close. About 8 years old, carrying a pink backpack, she smiled. Santiago had seen her before, thinking she lived nearby and passed by after school. "Hi, little friend. How are you?" the young man said. The little girl didn't answer, just smiled. Undeterred, he kept playing and she sat beside him, chin in hands. Encouraged by her presence, Santiago continued to play. "Do you like music?" he asked. Again, she nodded. Santiago saw she paid close attention, closing her eyes and nodding in rhythm. Realizing she was a keen listener, he decided to play a special song for her. "Since you're enjoying this one, I'm going to play something really cool. Want to hear it?" he said. As usual, she nodded yes. The young man played a soft, delicate melody that seemed to float in the air. His charming voice matched his current situation. The girl opened her eyes, looking at Santiago with a shy smile. Enchanted by the song, she seemed moved. He continued playing, letting himself be carried away by the music and the emotions it brought. He felt that his music was touching the girl's heart in a special way, beyond the notes and chords. When he finished, the little girl applauded enthusiastically. "Haha, thank you so much, little one." Santiago thanked her. As she left, the little girl dropped some coins into the young man's donation box and walked away, looking back with a smile. Santiago was moved by her presence, silently thanking her for being such a special audience. He felt happy to have shared his music with her, even though he felt something strange. The next day, Santiago returned to the same park with his guitar, and to his surprise, the girl was there again, waiting for him. She ran towards him, a bright smile on her face, and sat down next to him as if they were already old friends. "Hi, little friend. How are you today?" he asked, but she didn't answer, just nodded. It was then that he noticed the little girl couldn't speak. She was mute. Although she couldn't talk, they began to develop a peculiar friendship with gestures and, of course, music. The homeless man was happy to see the girl coming back every day. He played beautiful songs, some of his favorites, just for her. The little girl listened intently, shaking her head in rhythm to the song. Santiago found it strange that she was always alone without her parents, wearing the same clothes, a little lace dress and black shoes closed with pantyhose. Still, they became good friends, spending a lot of time together playing the guitar. Santiago shared his life story with her, expressing his love for music and his dream of learning to play the guitar since he was little. He talked about losing his family and ending up living on the streets. The girl listened carefully, often pointing her finger at the guitar and smiling. Santiago, not understanding much, would just say, "Yes, it is a very special guitar." Young Santiago found unexpected joy in the little girl's presence. She became a beacon in his life, and his music acquired an even deeper meaning when he played for her. As the days passed, their friendship grew stronger, becoming an inseparable duo in the park. They played together every day, attracting more and more people with their music. The little girl, in her lace dress with ponytails in her hair, danced with joy to the sound of Santiago's guitar. Every musical note seemed to flow through her, making her move in an almost magical way. The connection between them was palpable, captivating passers-by. People stopped to watch the young musician, commenting on how beautiful his music was. The smiles on their faces and the applause that followed were proof of the admiration they felt. The presence of the little girl in the homeless man's life made his difficult routine on the streets much more bearable. He thanked God every day for meeting that special girl, feeling that, in a way, she was a blessing in his life. With her dancing beside him, Santiago began to receive more tips than he had ever received before. It brought him genuine happiness, a relief he couldn't have imagined. He was sure that she was the reason things were working out. However, the truth about to be revealed was something that no one could ever imagine, and would drastically change everything in that boy's life. After some time, winter arrived. Santiago woke up, went to the park, weaker than usual, and waited for the girl who visited him daily. The girl appeared and noticed that Santiago was not in good shape that day, and they sat together silently. Santiago, suffering from a rare disease called myasthenia gravis, felt its effects on his muscles and nervous system. The disease caused weakness that worsened with activity and improved with rest. If untreated, it could lead to severe episodes, even fatal ones. Discovering the illness years ago when he lived with his parents, Santiago couldn't afford proper treatment due to the lack of insurance and high healthcare costs. Despite trying to stay healthy on the streets, the disease's impact increased. The weakness episodes became more frequent and intense. Dependent on his music and the girl's company, Santiago knew he needed medical help. Without money or resources, he felt helpless. That day, visibly tired, he shared his weakness with the girl. She, expressing concern, gave him oranges. Eating the oranges, Santiago appreciated her gesture. Despite not speaking, the girl conveyed her care. Santiago, grateful for her empathy, acknowledged her support. Although he couldn't play the guitar that day due to weakness, he cherished the girl's friendship. As they sat together silently, an invisible bond grew stronger. Days passed and Santiago's health worsened. The girl, realizing his increasing weakness, witnessed one day when he woke up in a shelter after collapsing on the street. Weak and uncertain about his future, Santiago feared not surviving the next crisis without a solution to his health problems. As volunteers took care of Santiago, providing medicine and support, he couldn't hold back his tears. Feeling vulnerable and helpless, he doubted how he could continue this difficult life. Amidst his tears, he worried about the little girl and how she would manage without him. In that fragile moment, something surprising happened. At the shelter's entrance, the little girl stood with a compassionate look. Running toward him, her eyes conveyed understanding beyond words. Overwhelmed with gratitude and touched by her empathy, Santiago wept, realizing he had found someone who genuinely cared about him. Approaching him, the girl's eyes expressed a deep and true friendship. Curious, Santiago asked how she found him and whether her parents would be worried. She shook her head and smiled, bringing comfort to his heart. Santiago knew their friendship would endure any obstacles, even when words couldn't be said. Acknowledging that his illness would consume him soon, Santiago, in a generous gesture, picked up his beloved guitar. He wanted the little girl to have it as a symbol of their friendship. With a weak smile, he said, "I want you to have it, little one. I want you to remember me." As Santiago handed the guitar to the girl, the unimaginable happened. The guitar fell to the floor, creating a loud sound. Startled, he turned to the girl, and to his disbelief, the guitar had passed through her hand like a ghost. The little girl pointed at the guitar again. Intrigued, Santiago noticed something unusual. The back of the guitar revealed a hidden compartment. Inside, he found a document and a photo, a certificate of authenticity confirming the guitar as the first made by Antonio de Torres Jurado, the very famous and renowned Spanish guitar maker and considered as the creator of the modern guitar. Shocked, Santiago realized the guitar was a priceless treasure. Looking at the girl, he whispered, How did you know?" She silently pointed to the photo, a black and white image of Antonio and a little girl. On the back it was written, "To my darling Melody, 1864. She was the little girl in the picture, the one who had been by his side. Santiago realized the girl was more than just a girl. She was a soul connected to the guitar and its music. Melody smiled, disappearing among the people. Santiago, tears streaming down his cheeks, watched in disbelief. After recovering, Santiago took the guitar to a museum, confirming its authenticity. They offered him a significant sum for the instrument. With that money, he got the treatment he needed, bought a house, and opened a musical instrument store. His love for music persisted, playing each note as a tribute to his parents and the little girl who showed him the way to his treasure. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And this other story that may be appearing on the screen will most likely move you as well. Have a nice day and see you in the next video.